1 year ago, I was living in France playing football and I wasn't happy, but it wasn't always like that. I spent 9 years in France chasing this dream of mine, experiencing the extreme highs, the extreme lows, countless sacrifices, putting in extremes amount of work, waking up super early, training 2 to 3 times a day, and doing my absolute best to make this dream of mine become a reality. Football was my everything, but what I didn't realize back then was that my life was so much more than just this game. Say hi, Dad.
I told her to move more to the left so she doesn't swing as much.
Well, clearly it's not working.
You swung more.
Hey!
Look who likes rolling now.
This is so much fun.
Hey! You see, exactly 9 months ago, after spending almost 10 years living and playing football in France, I decided to come back home. And at the time, leaving France felt like the hardest decision that I had ever made, because for so long, my identity was wrapped in this idea of being a footballer. And I'm sure a lot of other players and athletes and just people in general can relate to this idea of having something as their identity, and then when you change things and when you leave that thing, then you almost wonder, like, who are you, right? And the question that I was asking myself was, who am I without football? Who am I without this game? Learning about yourself. Who are you? Learning about who you are. You're gonna understand very soon, and I'll repeat it to you guys as much as possible, but you're gonna understand it as you go throughout life. Who you are matters way more than what you end up doing. Always. But what I didn't expect was that stepping away from the game was actually allowing me to reconnect with it. And it was the one thing that was actually gonna bring me closer to football more than ever before. Two. What do you think are your best qualities as a player?
Dribbling, passing, shooting.
What do teammates think? Yes or no?
What? Too far!
We're gonna be talking about self-leadership and how you guys can start building this for yourselves. You can start incorporating it into your lives, and so that you guys can show up as better people in the world, but then also in training, in your games, at your clubs, in the future, everything. You see, spending all those years in France, it taught me so much, yes, about football, but also about the game within the game, about life. And one of the things that I learned early on is that football is brutal, and talent isn't always enough. I was never the most talented player. I was never the one who was always shining and dribbling through everyone and scoring all the goals. That just wasn't me. And so many players who are very talented, they think that that's all you need. They think that all you need is talent and that you're gonna be able to shine and make it as a professional player. But I've seen firsthand so many talented players who unfortunately don't have the mindset, who don't have the work ethic, who have lost out on so many opportunities just because of that. And as I continued to get better because I kept putting in the work, there were a lot of players who were left behind. And that's why things like mindset, opportunity, hard work, dedication, discipline, these things matter just as much. The second thing is, more recently I've been coaching, and coaching has allowed me to use football as a vehicle to help. Being able to actually help guide players so that they can navigate their own journey and figure it out for themselves and go about their journey in the best way possible so that they can achieve their goals and get to where they want to be is something that I've had so much fun doing. Because the reality is, I know how hard it is. And I think that there's a side of me that uses that when I coach, because I know what it's like, I know what it takes, so I want to push my players as much as possible. And at the same time, I also want to connect with them because I do feel like I understand them. I know what they're feeling, I know what they're going through, I know what they're experiencing. And these are the little things that I take with me into my coaching sessions, whether that's in a boardroom doing a mindset workshop, helping players develop more leadership and self-leadership, or even if it's on the pitch and actually doing some technical training or physical training with them. I like to grab these elements from the experiences that I've had to have a genuine and real impact on these players. Let's go, Nick. Push, 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 push. For this drill to work really well, what needs to happen?
Communication.
Okay, communication. What else?
Good touch.
Good touch. Okay.
Checking your shoulder.
Checking your shoulders is important. What else?
Good passes.
Good passes. What else?
You gotta make sure you're like on time with the player.
Timing. Did everyone hear that?
Yeah.
Make sure that you're on time. On our toes. Let's pick up the intensity. Good. Good communication, Noah. Better passes, Kian. Better passes. Good. All I'm asking is that the passes are a little bit more intentional. Okay? Any of these floppy passes don't work. The second thing, intensity. Okay? Even if you're on the outside, don't just stand for the ball like this. Stay on your toes. Okay? This attitude right here, you're not prepared, you're not ready for the ball, you're not a soccer player. Your toes, be ready for the ball. That ball comes, boom, you play it, you're ready. Okay? Let's go. Good, Nick. That's a lot better. Good, Ariel. Good, Kala. Good, Wesley. Good, Noah. Good, Sean. There we go. This is a lot better. Thank you. Okay, so you know what's happening, right? All you have to do is make one small change because you still have the rest of today. You can stay in that and then you're going to have like a bad session overall. But imagine if you were able to turn it around. That'd be pretty fun, right?
I'll fix it in the game. I always fix it in the game.
Fix it now. Buy in the game. Fix it now. Once you figure out who you are through the self-discovery, then you grow. Then you build on it. Then you keep getting better and better and better. Understanding that there is no cap to that. You can't be at the max version of yourself. You'll never be able to be the best version of you because there's always a better version of you. Does that make sense? Okay. And then the last thing is, once you've done everything, once you've taken responsibility for yourself, once you've given yourself the self-value and you understand your worth, once you figure out who you are, and then once you continue to grow and grow and grow, then and the third thing is that football will be hard, it will be a struggle, it will be tough, and at one point you will have to walk away. Whether you make it as a professional and you walk away because you're retiring, or because in the middle of your journey you decide that it's the right move to change something and to go in a different path. But either way, the decision is yours. You see, I had so many moments where I wanted to quit, so many moments where I just wanted to give up, I wanted to go back home, be with my family, be with my loved ones, and just feel that comfort again. But I had this drive, I had this desire to prove something to myself, to the world, to others, and I also had this passion. I wanted to make this dream come true. But yeah, there were definitely times where I felt like I wasn't good enough. But I learned that football is not just about how good you are, it's also about how you respond when challenges come your way, when things get tough. Because the players who do end up making it are the players who stick through it. They're the players who have the longevity, who are going to continue putting in the work no matter what is happening. And at first, I'll be honest, when I made the decision to move back home, I really struggled with that idea. I struggled with the identity aspect of it, and then I also struggled with the thought of just coming back home and thinking of it as a step back. You know, I would no longer be playing competitively, I would no longer be living on my own, I'd be back home with my parents. But I realized something, this was never about moving backwards. It was just about finding a new way to move forward. You see, today when I look at my life, I've never been more ambitious. I've never been more driven to do what I'm doing. It's all aligned with my passion and my mission from the very beginning. Just give me 5 minutes.
We have to go now.
Okay, please, I just have to finish filming, okay? I'll be really quick. The reason why I wanted to become a professional footballer was because, yes, I loved the sport. I was super passionate about it. And at the same time, I wanted to use that as a vehicle to make an impact on the world. So ultimately, my mission and my purpose was to serve. It was to contribute. It was to give back. And I thought that by becoming a professional and having all the fame and the money, that I was going to be able to take that and give back. But then I realized early on, I don't have to wait. I can start making that impact now. And I've been able to find this sweet spot, which I'm absolutely loving, where I'm able to guide footballers on their journey, help them become better, help them develop these life skills that they need to navigate the world, whether that's in football, but also in their own personal lives. And on top of that, just helping people in general just break through, reconnect with themselves, become more authentic versions of themselves, become better versions of themselves, and facilitate growth within them. It is something that I'm super passionate about, and I feel personally so much fulfillment from that. Whether that's through my online football community where I help players directly, whether that's through the social media content that I post, whether it's through these vlogs where I'm just trying to share my journey, but also share an experience and maybe get inspired and motivated by this, or it's by doing the workshops that I do and speaking and going to different events and helping out and being a part of some positive change, working with charities, working with different organizations. And honestly, I feel more aligned and more fulfilled than I have ever felt in my life. So to anyone watching this, whether you're a footballer or anyone else, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you are, no matter what your passion is, no matter what your desire is to do in life, whether you're chasing the dream, whether you're struggling with doubt or questioning, what comes next, I want you to know this. I have learned that your path doesn't look like anyone else's. Whether you succeed at what you want to do and you get that dream outcome, or you pivot in a different direction and you follow your passions and your purpose and your mission, it's all part of this journey that we call life. This is all about you learning, growing, discovering who you are, and ultimately building yourself up and giving back, finding that purpose, finding that mission that you have. And it can be anything. It could be small, it can be big, whatever feels true to you. So yeah, almost 10 years living in France. I've been home for 9 months, and I can tell you this, life doesn't get easy. It doesn't always go the way that you expect, but it doesn't mean that you're not on track. Just stay true to yourself, follow your dream, trust yourself, and enjoy the journey.
I don't think with his attitude he's gonna get anywhere.
What about you? What do you think where do you want to go in soccer? I'm not putting that in. Salud. ¿Se ánimo dar?
Hey yo, brothers. Yo, what up? Rehan,
Wagwan.
where are we going?
London.
And what are you doing?
Enjoying the juice.
Yes!
Let's go! Let's go! Can you dance for us?
Watching Harry Potter burn. Harry Potter until he always burned you.
Say that again because I don't think you articulated at all.
Watching Harry
She
Potter.
never articulates.
You don't even know how to speak English, brother.
Thank you, Rehan.
Mom, explain your technique. How do you get that curve?
Aim for the middle.
Oh, then,
Those arrows.
yeah, you aim for the middle? Wow.
Usalima be, sinakacha moto na,